This is my time. So put your pillow beside you and get comfortable. We will be here for a little while. I am really glad. And first, I want to start telling you thank you. I hopefully the thank you part don't account in my time. Where is John? How many minutes I have, John, for the sermon? 20? 30, 40, okay. But the thank you don't account in that time, okay? And I want to start telling thank you to all of you for having us. Have been amazing to be back. And I feel really extra exciting this morning. Not because I see you again, most of you, because also my Kiwi mom is here, Lorraine, and many of you know Lorraine Ryan. She has been moving to Hamilton, and I am really excited that she's here this morning. Made me feel like I am back like 9 years ago, the first time that I come here, because she was the big instruments and the open door that the Lord bring for me and my brother Pablo, Lorraine and Barry, and we are so grateful to see you again with these three little kids. We are thinking to keep Timothy with her for a few years, but might be thinking a little bit about. And thank you also, David, for giving me the opportunity. This morning was not the time for me to preach. Let me explain this. I was sharing with Jonathan last week, hey, who is preaching next week? And he say, David. And I tell, okay, I will be praying that maybe David can get sick and I can have the opportunity to preach. And believe me that I have been doing this. To be honest, when I was in Bible college, we were visiting many places around Whangarei, Otomote, Morningside, Rotorua, and one morning we appeared in Morningside. And I was just praying in the back of my seat, and Matthias asked me, what are you doing? I tell, just praying that the preacher gets sick so they give me the opportunity to come and preach. And believe me, this is true story. 5 minutes later, John Steiger come to see me, and he say, hey, I don't feel really well. You will be able to preach this morning. I say, oh, I am ready. So most of the time, my praying work. But this morning, I was not feeling really well. And I appreciate that my brother Richie in the back, he saw me. Yesterday, I had a big day with Robert fishing, and I get really sick in the boat. Yeah, just get ready just in case. And I get really sick. And this morning, by this time, yesterday, I was like, killing myself. I was like really bad. And all this feeling come back. So my brother Richie start praying and say, hopefully you can feel better. So I appreciate all of you. I know that there is many people who are giving us a lot blessing to stay here. And I don't want to give name because I don't want to miss one of your name. I don't want that anybody can feel bad. I want to give you a big thank you to all of you from hospitality for make us to be all of the family here, for everything that you have done. I know that all of you know the blessing that you have been to many of us. Let me start now. The time start coming now, John. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. This is my topic this morning. And I start walking by the mall the other day. I love to go to the mall, not just spend money, because there is some free stuff there that you can be around and use toilet and playing room for the kid, and I can get some ice cream for the kid and a safety, just in case you lose some of your kids, some of the security guard, they are there helping you. So, and I was just watching some of the store, and I found this book, That Law. And I found it really interesting. I don't know if some of you have been reading, but I think the author is New Zealand, but it's first time that I saw this book about that law. And I start reading a few things, and that makes sense. Even we are different culture, makes sense many things from this. And Timothy start having big trouble after I get this book, My baby one, he keep me busy running all the time, and each time that he give me a hard time, I tell, hey, you go to the room, and we will start getting ready, and seriously. And he know what I am telling them, because when I start just walking around and just start getting my stuff ready, and he know that something will come. And probably many of you are already thinking, oh, he's not really good dad. Somebody maybe already start judging me a little bit. But let me tell you something, that each time they went to the room, not all the time, most of the time, I don't get my kid discipline, because he start laughing. He know when I get my bell out from my pen, this is what he started doing. He likes to just enjoy and be around, but he know already, he's 2 years, and he know how to make me feel each time that I am a little upset with him. He start asking me, are you upset? And I tell, no, I am not upset. I try to discipline you, telling you something. And he say, are you happy? Oh, yes, I am happy now. And then he start telling me, hey, you know that I love you, Daddy. And I was like, okay. So each time they try to get hard of him, he remind me how much he loved me. He made me think how much I love him. But at the same time, being a father, I know that many of you had that experience, have been helping us a lot to realize how God sees us, how hard we want to go with our kid. Sometimes it's how we start understanding how much love God has for us, how much patience. And I know my topic this morning is about don't judge one another. I want to start with this story because most of us, and especially in my culture, I will talking about my culture. I don't know much about Kiwi culture, but I know a little bit, maybe Australian culture. But in every way that we go, we work with kingdom people. So we try to get the principle that helping us as a kingdom people to apply to our life. And the topic about judging, I don't know if somebody choose this intentionally with me. I don't know that person who chose the topic was investigate about my background, how judge person I was, and I still working on that. And I know that some of you had already that experience with me about judging. I was really judging person. I don't know, it's something probably from our culture. You start just meeting somebody and you automatically start judging that person, how that person look, how dress, where she come from or he come from, and which place that he live, how that he talk, how he react, or any other thing. Automatically, before you even talk with that person or start building a relationship, we have already judged that person. And even sometimes we don't get the chance to giving us the opportunity to know that person, because in my mind, I already judge that person. That makes sense? And somebody was asking me, hey, there is a little line between judging and guessing. And somebody was asking me in Chile, there's a little line. How do you know when somebody is judging or guessing? And I tell, I don't know. I don't know how to tell when somebody is judging you, because that is the only person who knows that is you, is me. Nobody can tell us if I judge somebody. Just God knows, and I know. This is why this topic sometimes is a little hard maybe to explain, because all of us, we know if we are judging somebody or not. Somebody was telling me, oh, I just guessing. And I was thinking, oh, yes, interesting. And I called this guy with his wife. He don't know that I was asking the question to him, and his wife was beside. And I tell, do you love your mother-in-law? And he was like, oh. And his wife was there. And he was telling me, like, yes. And me, I was telling, are you guessing? Or are you just making the final decision? Because guessing, at least they give you a rune, a little rune. When you guess about somebody, give you a little rune and give a little opportunity to know that person. That makes sense? You get a little space that, I guess this person look a little seriously and angry, but maybe no, because I am guessing I will approach that person and I will give the opportunity at least to know that person better. But when I'm judging somebody, I don't want to just even have any relationship with that person. There is no chance that I will give the opportunity to know better that person. And that person will go to bed and sleep really well. And you know what is the mind problem? Is that you will start getting a little sick or spiritual sickness because that person probably don't know what you think about that, and it's all in your mind and in my mind thinking, I think this person look like that because maybe he or she is like that. And I know that happened in the early church and in many ways, and it's still happening in Chile and probably in the kingdom. But this is something that Jesus tried to tell the people, hey, don't judge one another or don't judge your brother. Because when you start judging, you never know what else comes or how the Lord can surprise you sometimes. I have been judging people from this congregation, from Otomotei, that the Lord have been surprised me and made me knowing that I was really wrong. And I was feeling horrible because the Lord had been showing me so much grace and so much love through many of you that I have been judging you many times for different reasons, and then you come and show me your love, your patience, and in every aspect I was feeling horrible inside of me because that was not the right. I prefer to guess now. You don't have to go that way, but let me read this passage. Do not judge. This is from Matthew 10, 1-2. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. How many of you don't extend the hands? This is the question. Yes, it's evaluation inside. Maybe feel judged sometime for somebody. Because sometimes you feel it. Yeah. Sometimes we feel it, for the way that, and especially for me, as a Chilean, I am always like a little Timothy, he's always and everywhere. He never stopped talking. He always tried to just do something, investigate, discover thing. And I was like, oh, Lord, this child is too much for me. And the Lord, in the same time, is telling me, hey, sometimes you are too much for me too. This is you. This is you, Marcelo. This is a little one in the kingdom. So I had to really be careful just to judge my kid, the little one, Timothy, because that was me. Even when I arrived here in New Zealand, that reminded me. Here I made many mistakes. I was just doing wrong stuff around, but as a parent, I still show love to him. And you have been showing love to us and to me, and probably to these people who have been judging you. And believe me, that the Lord can work extremely powerful. The Lord can work in a powerful way through people that sometimes we judge. Let me share with you a few stories. Sometimes I get, thank you. This is something that happened, but don't worry about. John 4, the woman at the well. How many of you have been reading this story? Probably all of you. You know what the disciple did with this woman. I don't have enough time to go through all the passage, so I will try to summarize the story. What happened when this woman was talking with Jesus and the disciple come back? They were probably judging that person. This is a Samaritan woman. You don't supposed to talk with her. You don't supposed to have a relationship with her because she's a Samaritan. Maybe she's a woman. She comes from different background. She believes different things. Maybe she's confused about where we're supposed to worship, in this mountain or in another mountain. And Jesus starts showing them, each of them, how wrong they were about this woman. Because we don't know when people bring somebody to our life, we might like or not, what plan the Lord can have for you or for that person to be part in your life. I was not expecting at all when I met some couple of our Samaritan evangelistic in La Serena. Heriberto. Some of you know already Heriberto because you have been in Chile. I meet this guy in a parking spot by supermarket. You know, there is a parking area. But in Chile, there is always some guy who can watch your car and take care of your car, and you give some tips, some money after you leave the supermarket because he was watching the car. But if something happened with the car, this guy will not respond at all. And he was really bad. But honestly, each time that nobody give any coin to him, he can scratch your car with a little coin. So next time that you come back, you make sure has some coin for you. But I never had my car scratched, probably because all the time, or most of the time, I was giving some money to him. I was talking with him. Each time that I get here, I want to make sure that, hey, are you doing okay? Have you got breakfast this morning? Are you thirsty? Can bring you some water? Slowly, we start building a relationship. But to be honest, this is one of the first person that I judged when I was in Chile doing already ministry. Thinking, oh no, this guy again. I had to come back next time early to the supermarket so I don't have to meet this guy that he likes to talk, he likes to just asking questions, he likes to just be around people, and he feel like he's the king of the security car and just with his yellow car around. And it was like, no, I don't feel good to meet this person again. And one day, he come to the church. I give invitation, not expecting at all that he will come to the church. Even I was not praying about that he come to the church. Because I was feeling, oh, I had to just listen to this guy 40 minutes, just in the parking spot. And then I had to go to the church and listen him maybe after church for another 40 minutes. I was like, oh no, that is not what I was expecting at all. But he showed up in the church one morning, and I was like, okay, here is come. And he was just preaching. We start preaching the gospel to him. He become like our brother, and he start inviting people, inviting his family, his daughter, his wife, his cousin, and he became one of the evangelistic guy in our church community. So from judging that person in the parking area to the Lord bringing him to the kingdom, showing me again that God's grace is bigger than our fault. God's grace is bigger than our thinking. And God's grace is much bigger than our judge. He can still using people in the kingdom that we were not expecting at all. We get baptized, pretty much all of his family because of him. We preach the gospel to him, and he started preaching the gospel to other people. And each time that he's in the parking spot by the supermarket and had the chance to speak or talk with somebody, he's talking with somebody about the Lord. He's really keen to find somebody and tell about Jesus Christ and bringing that person to the Lord. Each time that my phone rings, and it's him, and I know, okay, there is another person that he contact who wants to study the Bible, and he is giving me the name, the address, or the cell phone so I can give him back. Olga, one of the lady, she lived in the dump area. One day we went there, Christmas time, 3 years, 4 years ago. We have been running this ministry about hot boxes. Marcelo will be speaking a little more about that in the presentation probably. But I meet this lady in the dump area, and I was like, okay, there is many people with different needs. And I saw one lady there just asking me, okay, can I talk with you a little bit? And in my mind, automatically it's like, okay, there is one more person who wants to wait for me in the end of the visiting to ask me something else. And I was judging her and my mom in my mind already. Oh, I don't want to meet this person. And hopefully, when she's looking different place, I can run to the car. I will not see this gear anymore. I was not expecting to go back to the camping. I was just giving the food and then run. And next Christmas, maybe I will see you again. But I was not expecting. And when I had the chance to talk with her, she was just encouraging me and telling me, you know, I don't want anything from you. Just I want to tell you thank you, because all of these people that are receiving these hot boxes are so grateful, and you have been impacting the life of many kids and their family, that we would love to continue having you here, and you can present Jesus Christ to our life. And I was like, wow, that again the Lord surprised me and telling me how wrong I was by judging person even before I start talking with them. And this lady is in charge of our kitchen community ministry of hot boxes. She's the one who cook free. We don't pay any money to her, and she cook from March to December to all of these kids Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with 2 another volunteer. She's the president that we call. She's our trust person. We buy the stuff that we need. Every donation that we receive, we send to her. We make sure that the kids have clothes, they have food, and every Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, they have like afternoon meal or afternoon tea before they go to bed. But this lady, Olga, is the one who have been cooking for them already 2 years, every day, and start bringing all of these kids to our life, that we have been feeling, wow, through one person, the Lord has been working to this wonderful lady, Olga. And the last one is Rosa, with the circle there. One day I was just getting really tired in Chile about, hey, we are doing too much stuff in ministry, with many things, many disappointments. Not every work that you do in ministry come in the way that you are expecting. And I know that happened for many of you too. Not always you have the result that you put in ministry. Even you spend some time, more time with people, more energy, and in every aspect. And that is the people that probably leave, and the people that you are not expecting are the people who stayed. Sometimes that happens because we judge, anticipate to the people. But this lady one day called me and she said, Marcelo, we have some problem. And I was like, oh, more problem. Who will call me to tell me, hey, we have good news here? And she called me one day and, hey, I had to meet with you. And she has a daughter. She is struggling in different way. Her daughter is part of our church community, of our congregation. So I knew that was probably some of the problem that her daughter have. But she say, oh, there is other problem that I have. And me, I was like, okay, I will go to talk with you. And she came to me, and we had a little coffee, and she said, we had a small group, but nobody had been studying the Bible in any places, like Bible college. Nobody had some study about New Testament or Old Testament. And I am thinking that you are the one that the Lord is putting us to helping these people and this community. It's another community, another church, different than us. And I was like, okay, just let's go to meet these people. And she invited me one night and called all of these people. They were like about 40 people searching God, looking for God will that I don't knew. And they were there in La Serena meeting with this lady, Rosa. And she's an evangelistic girl, or the evangelistic lady in that group. And she contacted me, and I became friend with her, and I become like a member of this church community. Some day a week, I go to meet with them. We start having this big group in our home Tuesday and Friday, like 20, 25 people having afternoon tea in our place, having us a discussion, different question about the Lord. And I was not expecting at all what the Lord will bring to the table. And this lady, Rosa, had been really amazing, and started having a contact. And she said, let me show you all of these guys. There is like 12 or 15 guys in that community. You can know them. And I was looking who is leading this group. And there is one guy, the name Jorge. And he came one day to our place and started asking me, hey, can you preach me the gospel that you teach or preach? And I share the gospel with that person, and he get baptized. We baptize him. He's our brother in Christ. And he say, I want to start meeting with you. And I tell, no, you go back to your community. Go back to these people. Go there, because there is many more people that probably they will have to know the gospel. They want to be baptized. They want to be part of the kingdom. And they are already, but they are searching, and you can be the instruments that the Lord can use. So he get back to this community, and he is part of that community. And finally, through all of that, at some point the Lord bring like 24 leaders from different churches in La Serena. Young people, old people, that they are searching God. And I was not expecting at all that the Lord can make this grow through Rosa, the last lady, to meet all of these people so we can start having a relationship with them and contact them without judging. I still processing, I still working on my thought, on my judging. Even the Lord have been showing me more than one time. Sometimes we forget. We have we call like the fish mind. The fish, they have 20-second mind. They forget about where they are, and they start going to the same place. Sometimes I have the fish mind that the Lord showed me one time every day, and I try to go back in my mind to judging people again. And the Lord remind me again and show me how wrong I am. And we contact all of these people, and we had like a big group, like more than 200 people the last time visiting us. We had like a worship together. This is the impact of one person that probably have been judged in this community. That might be you, that might be somebody beside you. We don't know the reality, what is going on in the life of somebody else. But I really want to encourage myself first to think, and probably before judge people or judging somebody, give the opportunity to know that person, But in the first place, we are not called to judge people, because you know what happens when you start judging somebody? What I mean by judge is when you already made a future destiny for that person. What I mean by judge is when you don't give any another chance that that person will change. When you define that person for what you think or you thought. This is what I mean by judge. I don't say that we have to just always, watching around, but just guessing. This is my point. Don't judge. Just give the chance to know somebody before you make your final stage. Even don't make the final stage about that person, because the Lord will do on the final day. He knows better than us what is in our heart. If that person is laughing a lot, it's not because that person is crazy. Maybe that person has too much joy that she wants to share with somebody. And maybe you are one of that person who need that joy in your life. And if somebody is a little more seriously, don't judge that person. Maybe we need that person in our life. And start asking that kind of question. When the Lord bring Heriberto, he likes to joke around, Olga and Rosa, I was thinking, oh no, that will not be for me, Lord. Bring somebody else or bring these people to other church. I need this brother and sister. We will not be able to do mission work in La Serena alone if we don't have all these people that the Lord has been bringing to our life. And finally, like the Samaritan woman has been impacting a lot through his testimony in the community, I truly believe that all of you can be impacting in the life of somebody else, in your family, in your community, wherever you go, if we put the judging mind beside and we start just see the people like Jesus Christ see through us. Finally, they say to the woman, we no longer believe just because of what you say. Now we have heard from ourselves, and we know that this man really is the Savior of the world. We are all of us here to present the best version of Jesus Christ. And you and I will become the best version of Jesus Christ to this world if we stop, if I am stop judging people before I know them. Churches are growing one Samaritan woman at a time. Open your eyes and look at the field. They are ripe for the harvest. John. Let me finish with this story that I shared with you and Men Challenge. Somebody was asking me to repeat one more time. One of the persons that you have been judging before probably is not here, but when I was in New Zealand, I was praying one Friday night because Monday we had to go to the camp with the students, and I went to my room, and I was praying there, and I was a little afraid, just me and the Lord. Nobody else was there. Nobody else was listening, my praying, and I asked, oh Lord, please, if you are my Father, please help me with a little camera, photographic camera, so I can have some camera to go and take some picture on the Bible College camp students on Monday. That was on Friday. Nobody knew about that. That was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I was just waiting in the door there, waiting for the people to come. Somebody put me there for greeting people, and the last person who was coming was Caroline Willis. Do you remember, Caroline Willis, Mar and Benedict daughter? And she was in my list of judging people before. And many of you know, probably you know that you were in my list too, to be honest. You know, because I let you know. I was telling you before, you are not like that, and especially my good friend, and I love so much, Jill. She was in my list too. But Caroline, she was in my list that I judged her And different aspect, different way. I will not tell you what I was judging her, but she was in my list, judging. And Caroline was just coming, last person probably come to the church, and me and my man automatically, when I saw the car, and Caroline coming, I say, oh, she's coming again. Late? Okay. And she had a nice car. That car is really new. She might be the first here, the first person. This car will be really expensive. She lives in a nice house, and I start having all this judging thought about her, and maybe making her in my mind that she's not the best one. And she was just running quickly with a little bag in her hands. And she come to the door, and she say, oh no, Marcelo, let me tell you one thing. I get a little late because I was forgetting something for you. And I was like, okay, what is that? And she said, this is a little present. And me, wow, automatically, woo, the Lord give me a little, boom, slave. Wow. I tell, this is not my birthday. And she said, but it's okay, the Lord put in my heart to give you this gift to you. And I was, okay, what is this gift about? And I picked that, and I jump in, I set up Caroline in the back, and I went to the back. Chris Miller was preaching here. And the first thing, I forget about the sermon, I start open the gift. A little car with $100 inside to the car. But there is still a little box there. So I think something else is coming. And completely, I was forgetting, like a fish mind, what I was asking the Lord on Friday night. And I start open the box, and guess what was inside to the box. This, a little camera. That probably, for most of you, will be thinking, oh, you were lucky that somebody was just bringing you the gift that you need. But you know what the Lord had been showing with me by that time? That he can still working in an amazing way and in a powerful way through people that we have been judging them. And from that time until now, this became like one of my, I don't know how you call in New Zealand, but one of the signs, one of the gifts that the Lord remind me each time that I come to pray to him, hey, I am with you. But he reminded me through Caroline Willis that the grace of God is bigger than our thought and than our thinking. Thank you for having me. God bless you all.